Hello everyone, Brian here. I'm just gonna do an update on our seeds today with the carton method. I remember a long time ago that one of the problems with cartons is that the cardboard medium of the carton is gonna want to be in equilibrium with the moisture of the growing medium. So what will happen is when you're using regular soil, the carton's gonna draw all the moisture from it. Um, with peat moss, that's gonna help a little bit. Peat moss is good at retaining moisture, uh, but at the same time, the egg carton's still going to want to draw that moisture out. So what I've done is I found this tray here in my pantry, and it saved me a trip from actually having to go out to the dollar store to pick this up. So this is a really inexpensive tray. It's very flimsy, so you'll have to handle it very carefully, but if you're on a budget, this will work. Or if you don't want to go out, in my case, go out to the store because I had this at home, it'll work. What I did was I poured water on the bottom so that the egg carton can absorb and stay moist. So now with the egg carton super moist, if you try to pick it up, it's gonna tear apart. So this is what this tray is gonna do to give it support when you move it around. And just from the other day, we're starting to see some of the seeds already starting to sprout. This one wasn't covered all the way, so we can see it. So we see some more seeds. So that's one of the drawbacks of using egg cartons is they're not going to be very rigid, and the cell for your medium is going to be quite small, and then your medium is most likely going to be peat moss, and we'll talk about what the drawbacks of the small cells and the medium, what the drawbacks are in a future video. We'll look at also another way that seeds are commonly started, and they're started in these plastic seed starters. For me, I find that transplanting from these plastic seed starters, they can be daunting because it's more effort to get the plants out of these cells. That's why I'm experimenting with these egg cartons, because when it comes time to transplant the plants from here, it's going to be really easy for me to separate the plant from the cell. I can just, tear it up and take the plant out of the cell and transplant it. With these, in theory, I can cut them up and take the plants out, but I like to reuse these for future seed starting. So these are some of the seeds that I'm starting. I found that in the past, I have a lot of these from our landscaping project, or just from people who've done landscaping, and they have these to save and give me. I have a lot of these, and in the past, I would sow a whole bunch and get overwhelmed with finding that I need to transplant all the plants in one time. So this year, I'm going to do a little bit at a time. And we'll see that our tomatoes are starting to have already sprouted. I checked on them today, and they sprouted already, and you can tell they had just sprouted because the leaves are still yellow. Once they get sunlight, the chlorophyll will form and the leaves will turn green. And these were sowed one day after Valentine's Day on February 15th. And we have some Cherokee purple tomatoes. And then this is a volunteer plant. It's probably a basil, but in this cell here are some, what are they, wing bean or asparagus beans. And then over here we have the Aunt Ruby German green. So one's already popped out, and there's another one that's popping out right there. In this cell, there's nothing that's popped out. And sometimes that can be frustrating because you would sow your seeds and 3 or 4 plants would come out of this cell, and then 0 over here, and like why can't you at least have one over there so we don't waste the cell? But that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, let's see, over here we have some Black Prince tomatoes, and this is one that I grow year after year, and last year we got a really good harvest. So if you're interested in a video, check that out. And let's see what's over here. These are brandywines. These seeds are 2 years old. I think maybe 3. I got them one year. They turned into a plant, and then I think I started too late in the season. It made a plant but no tomatoes. The following year I didn't plant them because I didn't have room, and then this year I'm going to try to plant more tomatoes. So once again, we got plants from there, but none in here. Maybe they're still coming out. We're still waiting on, these are going to be peppers. We're still waiting on the peppers. We got some himos. These are Japanese pepper, and in Japanese they're called togarashi. We have some, let's see, this is the black pepper. I'm growing it for its color. The Pasilia Bahio. Hope I pronounced that right. And see, do we see any peppers popping out? Nope, no peppers popping out. And then we have jalapeno. So gonna do three each. For the togarashi, I'm planting 6 plants. I'm gonna try to get a good amount. I'm trying to get a good amount of peppers. Jalapenos, they produce quite prolifically, and I'm not gonna be able to eat that many jalapenos, so we're gonna do 3. Anaheim peppers. I love Anaheim peppers. They're good for grilling. Grill them, slice them up, put them on burgers. Super tasty. It'll be nice to grow my own crop of Anaheim peppers. They're also called hatch peppers, I believe. And in the final column of seeds are some black pearl peppers. They're grown mostly for their ornamental appeal, and it'll be really fun to find and see what they look like. In the following week, I think I'll start on sowing some bush tomatoes and then find other plants to grow. The weather's going to warm up by 10 degrees starting March 1st. It's kind of interesting looking at the weather forecast. It's going to be 63 all the way until tomorrow, February 28th, and then March 1st, 73 degrees. So already looking forward to doing some direct sowing like corn. So I want to bring you guys along on direct sowing of corn, and maybe that's something we can grow together if you've never grown corn before. Hopefully you have some room in your yard and you want to give it a try, and I'll show you how I grow corn, and hopefully it will work for you as well. Until then, I think we'll just keep an eye on these plants, and I'll see you in the next video. A couple of minutes ago I asked myself, will it float? And the answer is yes. I think you've seen that there are many ways to start seeds, and this is probably going to be one of the most uncommon ways you're probably going to see in a while. I have the egg carton with peat moss in this tray here with a dome, and it's now resting, or actually floating, in this fish tank here with some lights on above, and then the fish tank with its temperature controlled water, which is around the 70s for tropical fish, will keep this, will act as a heating bed mat for this for these seeds here. So I think I'm gonna put this here for a couple days and see what happens, but I thought I'd just share this real quick with you guys. One unorthodox way of starting seeds, it looks like.